Hi, my name is Jiawen, and in this reflection, I will discuss the implementation of my unit Shopping with Math, using equations and inequalities to make smart choices, designed for grade 6 students. The unit focuses on helping students apply one-step and multi-step equations and inequalities to real-life shopping scenarios. The unit this unit, students solve a budgeting problem and explain their reasoning. Overall, the implementation of this unit was successful in engaging students and helping them connect mathematics to real-life situations. One major success was that students were highly engaged in the shopping scenario. Many students were excited to solve problems related to budgeting and decision-making, which made the learning more meaningful. They were able to write equations and inequalities to represent real-life constraints and solve them with increasing confidence. However, there were also some challenges. Some students struggled with multi-step equations and had difficulty interpreting their answers in context. While they could solve the equation correctly, they were not always able to clearly explain what the solution meant in the real-world scenario. I introduced the rubric at the beginning of this task and explained each scenario with examples. Students were guided to use the rubric for self-assessment by reviewing their own work and checking whether they had included all required components, such as defining variables and explaining their reasoning. In addition, students participated in peer assessment activities. They exchanged their work with a partner and used the rubric to give feedback. This process helps students better understand expectations and reflect on their own thinking. Based on the student performance, students generally perform well in writing equations and solving them accurately. Most students were able to correctly translate the scenario into the mathematical expressions and follow the steps to find a solution. However, students show more difficulty in reasoning, interpretation, and communication. Many students provided limited explanation or did not fully connect their solutions back to the real-world context. For example, some students wrote the correct answer but didn't explain what it meant in terms of the budget. So these challenges may be due to limited prior experience with explaining mathematical thinking and applying math to real-life context. I think the rubric was effective in assessing multiple aspects of student learning, including accuracy, reasoning, and communication. It also supported alignment with the standard 4, 5, and 6. However, I noticed that some criteria such as reasoning and communication is a little bit overlapped, which have made it difficult to distinguish between different levels of performance. And in the future, I would revise the rubric by making descriptors more specific and providing students friendly examples to improve their effectiveness. So yes, so another way I think I will provide more scaffolding, such as sentence frames and model responses to support students in communicating their thinking clearly. So overall, I think this experience reinforced the importance of using real-life tasks and meaningful assessment to support student learning. It also highlighted the need to balance procedural skills with reasoning and communication. Thank you for watching.